All right, what's up, Porsche buddies, Porsche gents? Let me first set the alarm here at HQ because I'm heading out. I was here working on my E36, but I figured it's about time for me to get you an update on the Soul Performance rear section and over axle pipes. All right, we're armed, we're good. We have a new sophisticated alarm system here, which is pretty sweet. And we have key cards and all that stuff, so I can keep an eye on this place a little bit better. But yeah, I gotta redo my my shift knob is upside down. It lost its tightness, and so I did an old turn-a-roo there to tighten it down. So let's get moving. So to remind you, I've done headers, I did race exhaust, I've done over axle pipes, I've done valves connected, disconnected. So right now the valves are disconnected and I melted the wires, so I don't have any control over the valves, which is fine. I don't want to open the valves anyway, or close the valves anyway. But this has factory headers, factory cats, which are all one piece. And then I have Soul Performance over axle pipes, and then a Soul Performance rear section with the valves disconnected. So I think the first combination was probably the best, where I did just over axle pipes and the factory rear section. You know, this sounds quite a bit deeper, sounds more under control, but you got that drone, so there's that droniness. Again, the exhaust is designed to operate with the valves operating, and to be honest with you, I don't even remember. I don't like valves, so I always turn them off and just leave valve operation off and leave the valves open all the time. But this this combination is right around 2200-2300 RPMs. Is pretty drony, enough so that I'm going to do something about it. But it's right on the edge of you drive around with the windows down and stuff, you'll be fine. But the reason why I really despise valve operation in this car is, you know, the valves are closed at anything below 3700 RPMs, and you know, right now, just the way the gearing's set up, I'm at 2200 RPMs going 37 in third gear. So your valves are closed like 95% of the time, unlike the GT3 or the GT3 RS, where the valves are open most of the time because you're blowing through 3,000-4,000 RPMs on every single shift. Got a little warm up to do here. Let's see where we're at. So just driving around town, I'm having to talk a little loudly here. It's a little too much. Whereas I didn't get any of this drone when I had the factory rear section and the over axle pipes. So a little hollower sounding, but I think the tone is better on this with the more substantial Soul rear section. But that drone, that 2,000 to 3,000 RPM drone, it's there, and it's kind of annoying. And so what I'm going to test out is the Soul rear section with the Dundon headers, the full Dundon catted headers. See how that does. But it's still, I would much rather have this than to have a stock setup. The stock exhaust is, it's just boring and basic, and I think over axle pipes for 95% of us GT4 owners. Get the over axle pipes, disconnect the valves, and call it a day. I'm about warm now, but I do freaking love this car. It's good. So now there's no drone. I'm at 4,500, 5,000 RPM, no drone at all, which is pretty typical of any kind of drone. I'll just let you listen. Hard on the brakes, come in, roll out. It's pretty good though, pretty good. If you had any apprehensions about a GT4 or a 718 GT4 sounding good, you shouldn't have any, because it's a good sounding car. I still think the 981, the previous gen GT4, sounds a little bit better, a little more dramatic. But this is good. It's good. Not good, the air conditioning in this thing. Gosh, I should have gotten the climate control, or the automatic climate control version. That was a legal path there. Don't yell at me. So I think I'm excited to play with the Dundon setup, just to see what it's like, see if you gain some horsepower with it, see if we can notice that. There really isn't anything else I plan to do to this car. I'll probably get some wheels for it. Again, I gotta turn this shift knob around. It's just I worked it loose. I just didn't tighten it enough, I don't think. And so I just turned it upside down so it was nice and tight. But I do like this is a racing R-A-C-S-E-N-G racing shift knob. Jason Sang. I love the auto rev match. I can downshift no problem. I just can't heel toe to save my life. So I don't want this guy getting in my way. See, man, it sounds so freaking good. And in many ways, I like the way this car sounds better than the GT3. I mean, the GT3 is special. This is just, I don't know, there's something about this car just seems so much more, even though it's less practical, seems more practical to me. Maybe it's the dollar number that makes it seem that way. So it's certainly not a slouch, this car. I don't really have much else to say other than, this is a good, a decent exhaust combination for you. That's where I live, right there now. I think a lot of you would, that have GT4s would like this combination. I still think it's probably better, save yourself the money. I think you do either or. I would do either the rear section or the over axle pipes. And I would tend to lean toward the over axle pipes. Now, if you're a valve guy and you like to putt around with valves, I need to reconnect them, and I just never really use the valves at all. But that would, theoretically eliminate the drone. this little road. Birds. The neighbors around here, though, I wonder what they think, because you can hear these cars from miles coming down that S curve that I just went down. For miles. It's incredible. As the golfers come yell at me. Can't help myself. Shifting is fun to do, whether you need to do it or not. So whenever you do these videos, you got to get in, get out before they call the cops on you. This is where we can catch a little air right here. Let's go around the block one more time. Having fun causing a ruckus on the Sunday afternoon. It's a fun car. 237 degrees Fahrenheit is the oil temp. It runs a lot hotter than the GT3 does. I don't think I've ever seen 237 in the RS. So yeah, the Dundon setup is as a equal length catted header setup that eliminates the side muffler, or the OPF, the particulate filter delete. So it's an over axle. So the cat, they move further back into the over axle section, and so it'll be interesting to see what it's like using that with the sole rear section, because Dundon doesn't have a rear section. Car is something about just this thing, the mid-engine, it's just, I just freaking love it, man. I'm at 1,747 miles. I'm going to do a GT3 to GT4 comparison video at some point here. I know I've been talking about it for a while, but I wanted to have some more seat time. It's a special car, man. This is one of those cars I think you have to get. This is of the very logical progressive step from a M3. So you get an M3, and then you get a GT4, and then a GT3, and then a GT3 RS, and then maybe you venture out and do some other stuff like McLaren or Ferrari or Lamborghini or something like that. But I think this is a car that, I don't know, I don't know that I could imagine not having a GT4. traffic coming back through. Get myself pulled over. It's just super comfy, man. The whole thing. I don't mind the gearing at all. I've said that 100 times, but I don't really want to change much on this thing. I like that it's, I wouldn't say it's underpowered. It's fast as crap, but you know, it's not as fast as some other cars, but it's a nice balance of torque and horsepower. You wind the thing out, and I can enjoy it on a back road like this. Well, not this, but a back road with some turns. I am going to get this thing up in the mountains soon. I need some driving therapy. Been doing pretty well though. I mean, I'm driving around here like a maniac, so this is my familiar zone, but I've been getting better. There's nothing like Porsche brakes though, man. It's so good. Can't see. So, you know, it gets a little bit, let me just stay about 3,000 RPMs. As soon as I go below that and I roll into the throttle, it gets a little resonant. I'll just take this here a little less aggressive than I did before, and just nice little cruise through this S-curve here. But like all GT cars, it's so darn comfortable just cruising at 6,000–7,000 RPMs. This one's more 5 to 6. The GT3 is 6.7, 7,500 RPM. Just, you can park it there all day and just roll. These poor people always do a couple of, all the way to a first gear downshift right in front of their house multiple times a day. Sorry about that. Sorry, not sorry. Just do a little windows down so you can hear. It's 91 degrees out, so not doing much windows down driving anymore. So I don't think I got really any overrun, you know, that overrun upshift. You didn't get any overrun with the stock setup with the particulate filters, but you do with the aftermarket setup as soon as you do the over axle pipes. Got double white trash fancy here. You got 2 gates. All right, go eat some early dinner, and then do a wash and talk for you. And wash the sucker. Although it's gonna be super hot. So that's a GT4. Nice little spirited drive for you. We'll catch you on the next video. We should probably do some flybys with it too. I'm about flyby exhausted out. Flyby exhausted. Uh-oh. Some parts. M3 parts. We would do baby courtesy revs in this neighborhood. Just a little love tap. See you soon.
the brakes. Come in.